What's Sam? Hope everybody having a best day. We talking about some wrestling. We're leading on to Friday night, but we gonna lead in today, so we're gonna lead in. I am joined, of course, with the legend, the Alpha himself, the one, the only Afro Coming 765. How you doing today, my guy?
You already know, beautiful day. Local neighborhoods come back here to give the folks their daily dose of dirt bag. We're talking wrestling, so you know it's a fun time.
We are talking wrestling, and it's the work, Tori. It's all a work. Everything's a work. MJF is a work. Everything is a work. Cody Rhodes is still a work. He coming back to AEW soon. Everything is a work, and that's my whole Twitter feed the whole day. It's all a work, and y'all all getting worked on, and that's all my Twitter feed from my AEW stands. I love y'all. I do love y'all.
Yeah, shout out to the AEW
y'all
stands.
Give me a lot of content to talk about in the group chat.
y'all be keeping it interesting, but man, y'all are.
It could be a work though. I'm not even though it is,
bro. But I don't know. I honestly, and that's a beautiful thing that I'm completely okay with, because it's been too long in wrestling when I could honestly say I don't know. Like you saw in the, speaking of AEW, last night, Dynamite, before the Young Bucks match, literally 15, 20 minutes before that match, in the group chat, I told y'all niggas, they're going to bring Kenny. And sure enough, without a doubt, they brought Kenny. And now they're going to try and, they're giving us this Kenny Omega might not be at his best right now.
I like this story.
I think it could be a good one.
Leave the power story to Cody Rhodes when he come back. Leave that. You can't.
I just think that there's a time and place for it.
You can't do.
I don't know
Cody Rhodes gonna do the story though. You know he gonna do it. He gonna win the Rumble.
Oh yeah, but Cody's gonna do. Cody's gonna be better because it's gonna be WWE produced, looked at by Triple H, and fucking Cody's gonna get to do what he wants. But man. And I love anyone who's watched any of our past wrestling episodes already knows I'm a Kenny Omega fan. I'm not a stan. I'm an Undertaker stan. I'm a Kenny Omega fan. There's a difference. But, bruh, Kenny Omega.
Like Joshi wrestling. He did not like his Joshi wrestling takes.
No, you're not. Listen, I've seen my fair share of apartment wrestling. It is not for me. I'm sorry.
But Tori's usually his fan on that, but other than that,
I just think this is a weird time to put the story in, like it. That's what makes me feel like the MJF shit might be a shoot.
The proposed shoot, the proposed work is that MJF is gonna come back and be the anti-WWE signee guy and say, "I told y'all about CM Punk." And then him, Hangman, Eddie Kingston, and that group, and all that. I'm like, but that story, it's Vince Russo. I'm sorry, that story is very Vince Russo-ish.
Yeah, and Vince Russo
is convoluted. It's
for some reason, Vince Russo has been extremely active on Twitter the past couple days too, which is never a good sign.
That is a Vince Russo story. If y'all want to know what I'm talking about, that is a convoluted story that you are missing a lot of parts.
That makes no sense.
It could, but it's going to be missing.
It still couldn't make sense because literally MJF has had problems with every person that you just named putting him in a group with.
Like the only story I can think that makes sense if MJF, the only way this makes sense, because I'm telling you, y'all story booking is terrible.
And he can't be on TV.
Yeah, that too. But the only way your story don't make sense. I'm telling you, it's Vince Russo. Like, it don't make sense. Why would he get a title shot after screwing Punk to be the hero when he hates Tony Khan, and that's the whole beef of it? And Tony Khan want to give out.
Yeah, I was gonna say when talking bad on Tony Khan is allegedly what started this whole situation.
That's too many loose ends. Now, what could happen? If this happens, I'm gonna be like, y'all won.
Yo, if this is a work, I will be. Listen, I might say Tony Khan might not need to hire a booker if he can pull this into an actual work. But I don't see it happening.
Now, if it's a work, what would happen would be MJF shows up, hits Moxley, and him and CM Punk like, we hate this company, and that makes all the stuff that CM Punk kind of did. And plus,
CM Punk and MJF come together.
Yeah. And plus,
it's a work if that happens.
And by the way, when MJF left, CM Punk was the one that was chasing him. So you could tie that together, but the other shoot idea, it makes no sense.
I don't know though, bruh.
The other shoot idea makes no sense. That's the only way this will work because it doesn't make sense. There's too many plot holes in it if that's not the plan.
I think they worked themselves into a shoot.
Nah, that's if this is a work. It has to be. He has to help CM Punk, and they both like we hate Tony Khan because that's what's been going on. He's mad that Colt Cabana and Hangman fought for Colt Cabana, and Hangman said he's an outsider. He's not one of us, and all that stuff. And that's allegedly what he's upset about. But the only way you can make that to me a work, only way you can make that a work to me is if him and CM Punk come together and be like,
on drugs.
You see what I'm saying? That's the only way it makes sense, Tori. There's no other storyline that can make sense.
There's not a lot of ways. That's what makes me feel like it's such a shoot, though, because there's not a lot of ways you could.
That's the only way.
You can work this out.
Or
like,
some
not after 2 months of him being gone, being completely like he's not been on Twitter, not been on Instagram, nothing. He's been completely.
Well, I think they say he's filming Impractical Jokers lately, so I don't.
Well, but still, you think there'd be some kind of activity.
But that's the thing, though. That's the only way I think it's a work.
But
it got to be that.
We'll forget. That's one thing we will do. We will forget. If you leave an angle sit for too long, it will go bad.
And by the way, that don't even mean that MJF is a shoot anyway, because he could have met him sometime in the last. It's been 2 months. They can meet and then they can work something out, even if it did happen.
Yeah. Even if it was a shoot, there's been time to fix it to be a work.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody like MJF has been proven to be a shoot. I mean, proven to be a work. Where has it been proven?
I was gonna say, where has it been proven that it's a work?
We haven't seen him. You can't.
We haven't seen him. We haven't. Literally, the last thing I remember about hearing about MJF at all was a clip from the Wendy Williams show where because she's not hosting it anymore. They got Sherry Shepherd hosting it, and she told a story right after all this happened, like maybe a week after the MJF calling Tony a mark and going on, and she said that her son was a wrestling fan and they had seen him at the airport, and she said that she went up to him because her son was scared to, and asked him if he was MJF the wrestler, and she said that he bit her. She said he bit her head off and told her no, and freaking yes, he got told that all the time and just left it be. Wouldn't give her a picture or an autograph for her son or nothing. And that is the last we've heard of MJF, and that was literally a week at most after the Tony Khan situation happened on Dynamite, and that's the last that's been heard of him. Period.
And like I said, now I just went to y'all work scenario. Like I said, I gave you a scenario. It could be a work because I have no clue. I'm not down.
Yeah, I don't know, and I love it. I love not knowing. I don't need to suspend my disbelief if I actually don't know.
Yeah. But the thing is, I want to go over this. CM Punk fan, this for y'all. Y'all favorite wrestlers an asshole. Regardless if this is a shoot or not, he's an asshole.
But he's always been an asshole.
That's what I'm saying.
He's an asshole in Ring of Honor. Like, people forget CM Punk has been a heel far more than a babyface in his career.
In real life. But Shawn Michaels also was, and Triple H was too.
Yep. But that's why Shawn got his lazy eye, because he was such an asshole. Karma.
But assholes, they work in wrestling. Hulk Hogan.
Bruh.
Kevin Nash, they work.
But don't take it to that. Don't take it to Hulk Hogan levels, people.
Hulk Hogan was he is
just a flat out bad. Listen, then this is a self-proclaimed scumbag telling you this. Hulk Hogan's bad people. Like, that's just what it is.
Yeah. But they that's what they are. And let's be honest, assholes sell in wrestling. Like Shawn Michaels and Vince McMahon is one, and he literally screwed Bret Hart, and after telling him it's gonna be a DQ and screwed him on purpose.
Yo,
and just did asshole move.
I read it's funny you brought that up because I recently saw some of the letters that were written to Vince after the screw job, and like, bro, he put like because back in the 90s like that, there wasn't a super amount of smart fans, and there were fans that were actually, they had spent so much money, like they had went to dinner with Vince and Linda, and they were good with the company and this and that back in those days. And they said Vince McMahon got a letter from a woman that literally she was supposed to, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, and it's killing me. But she was supposed to be like the biggest wrestling fan in New York, which is, for those of you who don't know about territory wrestling, that was Vince Sr.'s territory. Like, she knew Vince's dad, so you know that it meant. And she sent him a letter after that about how freaking her distributors were returning merchandise, how they didn't want anything to do with the WWF, how she personally wouldn't be attending any more shows. Freaking, like, they were mad about Brett. And the thing is, even in the letter, this is how you knew she was a smart fan. She was like, even with Brett deciding to go to WCW, because no one knew that before the screw job happened, because you got to think the internet wasn't all that back then. If it was anything, I mean, given to the fact that this was all done pen and paper still. And like, she even knew about Brett going to WCW, and like, she said there's still no reason you should have done that. Like, but if you think about it, the screw job was in my opinion, the screw job was the lead into the Attitude Era. It was the lead into Vince McMahon becoming Mr. McMahon, this horrible heel that doesn't care. So
it did. It started, and then Stone Cold took
Stone Cold took it to the next level, but
he became the dude who has the horrible boss that you just want to beat up in Stone Cold. You lived through Stone Cold, and it worked perfect. And then Generation X was like grown man children. That, by the way, watch the A&E documentary.
Was a little weird though.
Watch that documentary, by the way.
But I like Rick Rude. I liked Rick Rude with DX though, even though he didn't really do that much.
Or Rick Boogs. Yo, Vince really changed this man's name. He made him look man.
I hope there's still a place for him when he heals up. Because I liked him and Shinsuke as a tag team. I really did.
By the way,
I thought it was entertaining.
The fact that Vince made this man exactly Rick Rude in every way, even the poses,
he looked exactly like him.
He did the hair, the get up, the poses. I'm like, Vince, why? His name is Rick Boogs. You literally just barely changed the name.
Like that, it was a tweak. He was like, we gonna change 2 letters. We gonna change the R to a B, the D to a E. I mean, the D to a G, and call it Ben.
Ooh, it's some ooga, ooda. It's just the same thing. We just changed.
But I mean, he did look. Rick Boogs looked a lot, and you didn't really notice it till the haircut.
He got the mustache. That's how you notice it.
Did you notice it? Did you notice it before the haircut?
That's why Vince made him cut his hair so he can literally be Rick.
I was gonna say, because I didn't notice it before the haircut. I really didn't.
Yeah. But back CM Punk, I want y'all to know, CM Punk asked. CM Punk told y'all this story that he came back because he loved wrestling, which is bullshit. He came back because he got paid.
Yeah, nothing came back for a check.
Chris Jericho he felt the same way WWE when they put him on second with Kevin Owens. But he went to New Japan because he loved to wrestle.
Yeah.
CM Punk had years to go somewhere else. They had ROH was around forever.
He went to the UFC and got that ass whooped though.
Well, you know why? Because Dana White gave him a bag.
A big bag.
Matter of fact, he went back to WWE Smackdown. Why? That little after show. Why? He said they gave him the bag.
But that was through Fox. That wasn't through the WWE.
But the reason why though? What was the reason he went to that? He said they gave me the bag. They gave me the bag. You think he went to AEW for the love of wrestling? You out your man. I'm sorry, y'all. You could be a CM Punk. That man could have wrestled the whole year. It was a feel-good moment when CM Punk came back. Any wrestling fan would be lying if they said otherwise, unless you're just some super WWE fanboy. But not even for a second, I don't think any of us should have ever been under the impression that this nigga was doing anything but not realizing where the money was at. What I'm saying, you got to be. By the way, I was telling Tori, I like, yo, AEW.
And he put on amazing matches since then. Him and MJF should be match of the year. Was that 2021 or was that 2022 when they finished it?
That might have been. Well, I don't know whenever it was. That this year?
That's what I was trying to say.
Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. Was that before that?
Yeah, it was before Cody versus Seth.
That would be.
Okay, so it was the best match of 2021.
No, it was 2022 because they fought on.
Okay, well then that shit is still match of the year in my opinion, even after the amazing shit that FTR's managed to do. Because, like, I mean, CM Punk came out to Misery in Cantare. Like, bruh.
By the way, I'm not, as I told Tor in the group chat, I'm happy CM Punk back because AEW needed that boost. I told him they need Kenny, him, and MJF back because they need all that boost because
they need. Where'd that nigga go?
Yeah, we back on my internet. Hey, y'all, listen, y'all gonna see the internet go off for a few seconds. All right, I don't know what happened. I think the lights.
Look, I thought it was me at first. I was like, damn it, there goes my internet.
Oh no, they'll know because the thing just probably froze for about but it wasn't that long. We didn't last that long, so it's good.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was just a few seconds.
But like I told Tori, they need them back. I don't know the situation with MJF. I told them before they even came back, before Punk came back. I told them the week before. I said they need them back. Why? Because I'm sorry, without them and their storytelling abilities, AEW was
your show is falling flat.
Yeah, your show was.
You can't care. Bryan Danielson is one of the best wrestlers ever, but if he's injured and he's still trying to work, like, don't get me started on that Daniel Garcia bullshit match that they just had.
Yo,
like, there's no
good though.
But there's no reason Daniel Garcia.
Chris Jericho ruined that match, though. By the way, y'all gotta admit that Chris Jericho
What
sucks.
Reason should Daniel Garcia go 48 fucking minutes with Bryan Danielson? In what world? Not this one.
They're trying to build him up, Tori.
Bro, fuck that.
Bryan Danielson doing what CM Punk said he was gonna do and didn't do.
Listen, but they've got better talent than Daniel Garcia. I'm trying to see Powerhouse Hobbs trash some niggas.
Yo, I like how they had all 4 pillars and all of them has basically been forgotten.
Bro, all four pillars are mid carders now.
Now it's Willie Yuta. Who's the new ones? Willie Yuta, Daniel Garcia.
Yeah,
it's new pillar now.
Powerhouse Hobbs.
I guess Hangman.
And yeah, Hangman. And the original 4 were. I mean, they had a good original 4. Jungle Boy, MJF.
I like Jungle
Boy, MJF, Darby Allin. Who was the 4th one?
MJF,
MJF, Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, and who?
Sammy Guevara, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's how bad this guy.
Bruh. That nigga just proved that he can't do nothing without Chris Jericho, and everything Chris Jericho's doing is tired.
He mismatched. What he is, the mixed intergender champion. I'm like, how many belts did this company got? Holy shit.
I understand. But no, those aren't even, the intergender belts aren't even their belts. Those are AAA.
Half of them ain't their belts. What you mean?
I was gonna say
everybody on the show got a belt from some random company.
Bro, damn near. I'm glad they made fucking.
I'm sorry, I don't like I'm hating, but yo, everybody on the show got a belt.
Cole stopped carrying the Owen Hart. When I saw that they made the Owen Hart trophy a belt, I was like, oh god. I was like, this is just so.
Yo, y'all gotta admit, everybody on the roster got a belt, dog.
Bro,
except Bryan.
Patrick's taking their Mid-Atlantic belt to different. He's defending it at every fucking promotion besides AEW. He is defending this Mid-Atlantic championship.
Bryan Danielson is literally the only person on the roster without a belt. He's the best wrestler on the roster.
I was about to say best wrestler on the roster doesn't have a championship.
Everybody else in his group got a belt. Everybody in the other group got a belt. Everybody in every group got a belt.
I halfway think they're doing this Moxley shit just so it gives Bryan Danielson an excuse to be like, I'm going to avenge my Blackpool Combat Club brother and take the belt from CM Punk. And
do you take it off CM Punk, though?
I don't know. No, I don't think you take it off CM Punk unless you're putting it on MJF. That's my problem.
I got this is my scenarios now. I told y'all earlier in the show the work scenario, right? If it's a work, MJF coming out, he's helping CM Punk, and I'm like, y'all got it. But if CM Punk lose next week, this story 100% true.
Oh, he's not okay.
Listen, Tor. Whatever they said this week about him going into business for himself, pissing people off, it's 100% true. If CM Punk losing this week,
did you see allegedly why he did that? Apparently, it was because Hangman had done a promo referencing Colt Cabana, and because, I mean, if you don't know, there is an illustrious history between Colt Cabana and CM Punk that's resulted in legal disputes.
With CM Punk don't look all that good all the time. Tor.
And I mean, Colt Cabana's not even in AEW anymore. He left that shit.
He in ROH. So, Hangman didn't want him to get fired, so they didn't fire him. He just put him on ROH. He demoted him.
Oh, really? See, I thought he was going to do a little...
Hangman,
I thought he was going to do the Rock thing. I thought he was going to keep being the Brooklyn Brawler in the Young Rock TV show.
He in ROH because Hangman didn't want him to go, so that's probably a little bit. But Tori, that's how I know 100% it's
CM Punk's mad because he didn't let that nigga get fired. He's like, fuck you, Hangman. I hate that nigga.
But these are my two scenarios. If it's any other scenario, we don't know. That's my thing. If MJF come out next week, y'all got it. It was a work. If CM Punk lose next week, it's 100% a shoot. Ain't no way CM Punk lose unless Tony and them pissed at him for acting up this week. Yeah. You moved him,
but still, up. Bro.
No, if he loses, it's a shoot, dog.
You don't have. He ain't got that much star power, though. I mean, if you look at it, CM Punk sort of got all the power in this scenario.
You kind of do, but I'm Tori. If he loses, that's my point.
The ratings are higher when he's on the show.
Tori, but that's my point, though, Tori. If he loses, this is 100% true because it makes no sense.
Yeah.
So if he loses, it makes no sense.
I don't see, man. I just wish Tony Khan would hire an actual booker. I know y'all have heard me say that.
Offering his help.
Huh?
Did the court offering his help? I saw that yesterday.
Bro, somebody needs
Vince
to help.
Russo, Road Dogg.
No, not Vince. Gabe Sapolsky is still not got. This nigga is one of the best bookers we've seen in years. Why is he not working anywhere?
But
if Triple H were to hire Gabe Sapolsky just in an auxiliary format in some way, shape, or form for the creative team, WWE would crack. Because you got to remember, this is the dude that gave us the Perk Angle run, which is
that was wild.
But as detrimental as it was to Kurt's health, that was some of the most amazing wrestling. Period. Point. Dot. At that point in time, even though it was TNA,
that man was doing
like the Perk Angle run was something
for no reason.
Bruh, nigga hit a moonsault on you after he pinned you, just so he could feel it.
The man was on the stage for no reason. Samoa Joe, he just flipped for no reason, full speed.
Bruh,
I've never seen nobody run full speed do a moonsault,
except for when Kenny Omega does a Terminator dive, which he worked us during that match and didn't do. But you know what? That's so smart, and it's a testament to Kenny's. Because depending on how they keep this up, when he finally hits that Terminator dive, you know that whatever crowd they're in front of is going to go stupid.
It is. But I think y'all got the answer from the question I asked in the title. Is AEW perfect? No, it's not.
No.
Y'all y'all diss Jonathan Gresham because he was upset. You hear Miro and them upset. You hear Andrade upset, and then somehow they get like some match at the end of the day after they get upset. I'm gonna tell you, and by the way, that's gonna be a constant problem with TK, shooter work, whatever. It's gonna be a constant problem because he's too much of a fan.
He's not a booker.
In general, as a boss, he's too much of a fan for that to.
Bruh, just him winning Booker of the Year that last year. So it put the nail in the promotion's coffin almost because it validated that nigga in thinking that his booking is good when it's not. He has some of the greatest talent in the world on his roster right now, but he can't book for shit, so it's a waste.
Well, we gotta talk about we gotta talk about a little WWE before we give it out to the boys from Friday night. Yeah, don't send y'all over there. But Triple H booking, how you like it? I love certain little aspects that he does. I'm entirely enjoying.
He's hitting. He knows how long people have been waiting for this exact moment for him to take over, and he's banging on his chest, bro, in gorilla position, doing his thing. And you can't even argue with it.
A lot of people was overrating. I don't want to say overrating, but they was overhyping the first two Raws and the first two Smackdown. I'm like, they solid. I know Vince gave you such trash that a 7 looks like a 10 to you. Like, you dated so many ugly girls that now you finally get a decent one. After
you've been with so many 2s, a 6's gonna look wild.
You know what I'm saying? So I get it. Last Monday was at least an 8.5, and I was like, this Raw is amazing.
It was a good one.
This Raw was amazing. Even the little things, the Austin Theory running into the camera to go to commercial. I'm like, little like Dexter Lumis hands fired, just going up to letting them say the promo between KO and Drew McIntyre. I said, they gonna let Roman go? Ooh. I've been wanting Roman to he got a lot to say after all this succotash that Vince gave him.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to need him.
He got years of ammo built up for Give me Mac.
Hey, I don't know if you're gonna give me the passion Roman. I miss Gaslight 2020 Roman. I'm not gonna lie. That man was a gas.
You missed that Jey Uso Hell in a Cell Roman Reigns.
Oh, I'm talking about the whole 20. I'm talking about Kevin Owens. I'm bringing the food on your table. The ratings are dead without me.
Yeah.
Braun Strowman, you are not a monster without me. I'm the only time you was relevant. I said, oh my God, it's gaslighting. You just a freak in a mask, fiend. I'm like, this dude is. You will never win. I'm always beating you. A freaking.
And if this culminates in a Bray Wyatt comeback, Triple H might put the death nails. He might be breaking out that golden sledgehammer. I did not.
He tweeted the Spider-Man line when he met Aunt May at the end of Spider-Man 3, and she's like, "That little girl needs." Okay. He's like, "Mitchell needs a Spider-Man, so Spider-Man need to come home." And he did it this evening. Everybody like, "What does this mean, Jay? What does this mean? Why did you post this today?"
Like I said, since I saw Ciampa starting to get a little bit of a push, if they bring it back and we get a DIY tag team run, nigga, yo.
There's so much stuff. I don't know what's happening because Uso's gonna face somebody. And Kevin Owens,
think about that match though. The Usos versus DIY.
But Kevin Owens said in an interview this week, said, I want to win a tag team championship with Sami Zayn. And he met the Usos this week.
I'd be here for that.
I'm saying the Usos get a chance to really improve it if they go
Sammy like, bro, if they go against Sammy and Kevin,
and then DIY,
bro.
I'm like, okay, you got a chance to prove it now. I need these 10 stars.
Their tag team division would be stupid.
Kevin Owens said he want to go for he said he want every belt. He said, I said that for a reason. I want every belt. I'm like, listen.
Even the 24/7? That's what I'd ask him. You even want the 24/7 championship?
I saw Dana Brooke didn't even bring that belt out. I'm like, that belt must be dead.
I was so happy. I always hate that they used Mick Foley to fucking introduce that belt because
I know why. Because the thought was it's the same way the old hardcore belt used to be.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
But Vince is old and senile. He don't remember that good, so he just booked the same the roll up R-Truth pin every week.
Yep.
And it wasn't because
which is funny though. I love R-Truth.
By the way, if y'all don't remember the hardcore belt and y'all young, I always remember they fought on the back of a truck that was moving on an 18-wheeler. I'm like, this is wild. That belt was amazing. I didn't mind that stuff.
It was also like 2001, 2002.
They fought on the back of an 18-wheeler. If Vince had his way and they could legally, they would have fought on top of a train. If they could get that off, y'all don't understand. 90s Vince was a madman genius at moments. I know he got old and started forgetting everything and couldn't remember who was doing what matches and stuff. And he just redo the match because he forgot.
That goes back to where Vince wasn't really a booker either, but Vince McMahon will go down in history as the greatest wrestling promoter. Promoter.
Oh my God.
Bruh, he made that shit work.
Bro.
He turned a dying medium into a fucking economic powerhouse, all in a matter of a couple of years.
I want y'all to understand something. He created a main event that was absolutely terrible with Hulk Hogan and what's his name? In like WrestleMania 1, the Russian.
Oh,
this is the Russian or the Iraqi one of?
No, it was no. I honestly don't remember. That's a little too far back for me.
I'm trying to think. WrestleMania. It was. I know he had.
I always remember the WrestleMania where fucking the Undertaker took on the dude in the Bigfoot suit.
Yeah. But the reason
like that was WrestleMania 3.
The first like 7 WrestleMania Hulk Hogan main event. I'm trying to figure out which one.
Because it wasn't Yokozuna, was it?
No, Yokozuna was a little.
I know Hulk and Yokozuna had a. I know Yokozuna.
This how many times he main evented. That was WrestleMania 9. Andre the Giant was 4. I remember. I know that's 4. Sergeant Slaughter was 7. Oh, it was him and Mr. T versus Roddy Piper and Paul Arnold.
That's a wild ass sounding match.
King Kong Bundy was the one I was actually thinking about in WrestleMania 2.
Oh, yeah, King Kong Bundy was.
Both of those matches are the worst matches you'll ever see in your life.
But I don't think Hulk Hogan was that good of a wrestler.
He was a horrible wrestler.
Bruh, the leg drop, really? That's why you got severe spinal compression, because your stupid ass picked one of the most high impact moves that looks the lamest.
But Vince was letting you power slam gigantic men that they never see like regular smaller men do, and it created a moment.
It did.
And that moment, plus you had Mr. T. Y'all don't know, Mr. T at that time was part of the A-Team, and that's like the most watched show on TV. So he had the #1 star on TV. Basically, Mr. T for like a year was basically The Rock. It was only like a year or two. It wasn't that long. The A-Team,
it wasn't that long.
A-Team was here and there, but that year, that whole A-Team squad was basically like The Rock. It was like The Rock now. For a year now, I don't want y'all to say, oh, what? 18, I don't remember them. I'm old. For a year. 18 was the biggest show on TV for like a year or two. But that year, he got them to be on the WrestleMania. And it was a huge moment. And
Hulk Hogan was in the movie too, wasn't he?
He was in movies and doing all kinds of stuff. Vince pushed that man to the moon, and he gave us moments. And that's what people remember. And that's what Vince was always good at, is that like those moments. And half his moments were created because he again, an asshole.
Yeah. Like we can say, like we started this with the Montreal screw job. Even though he didn't book the Montreal screw job, he just made it happen. Jim Cornette booked the Montreal screw job. But it was fantasy booking when he didn't think they were actually going to do it. And when Vince decided to do it, I mean, arguably we wouldn't have, without the Montreal screw job, we wouldn't have got DX, we wouldn't have got The Rock, we wouldn't have got Stone Cold.
Can I say something about Triple H right now? He got Ronda getting cheered like a mother.
Which I don't know if that's a good thing.
She just beat up the police, walked up to Adam Pearce's face, put her hand up like this, and walked off in the crowd going crazy. I'm like, is he trying to make her the new Stone Cold? Like a version, because that's Stone Cold.
They tried to make her. Well, I think when she first came in, they tried to make her the next Roddy Piper.
Yeah, but I think this might actually work because this crowd is going nuts right now. I heard it in the background. That's why I looked back. I was like, "What is cheering?" Yeah, she's getting arrested right now. He told Adam Pearce, "Nice haircut." That's why I had to look around, because even with these headphones on, I don't hear it well, but I heard the cheers. I'm like, they yelling Ronda. I'm like, it Triple H got her way over than she was a few weeks ago. Yo, her and Liv Morgan actually got Ronda Rousey super over. And that's the crazy
Bruh. Triple H has got the juice and a damn near unlimited hype train behind him right now. All we can do is see what he does with it.
By the way, I know Ronda. Oh, the crowd is going crazy for Roman. This crowd is very loud. Shout out to SmackDown. Roman Reigns just showed up. But Ronda, and then it led. This is one of the cool things he just did. I'm going to just say that while we watch. The car just left with the police, right? Part behind the car coming in was Roman's truck. And I'm like, just that little, it's live backstage. It's not just people sitting there eating and catering all that.
It's more than catering.
And people don't understand how that makes a show feel. It feels alive. Like, this is like a real place that people work at.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like a movie set.
Yeah, and it feels amazing. That's one thing I like about Triple H's thing is like everybody's moving. You see the police looking for Dexter Lumis through all these people interview. He's setting cars on fire and hands on the wall while they fighting, coming in the door. Just little life changing stuff that he does well. I want to get, like I said, Hulk Hogan is probably one of the worst wrestlers ever in the top 50 wrestlers ever. But again, he got the moments, and that's what I say about Roman. People are like, all these wrestlers better than Roman. It's a certain it that you just get that put you to the top.
Yeah.
And Roman,
wrestling's more than just wrestling.
But unlike all the Roman, actually pretty good at wrestling. He's not the greatest, but he's really good.
Like no one can say Roman's a bad wrestler. If they do, they're just bullshitting themselves.
Stone Cold was an amazing wrestler, but when he was Stone Cold, he didn't barely do any wrestling moves. Let's just be honest.
I was about to say it was nothing but stunners and fucking hockey fights.
That's what I'm saying. Even though Ringmaster was his most technical wrestler, even the Bret Hart match was very technical, but after that, he kind of his knees started getting out and he started just kicking, punch. So, by the way, CM Punk and then John Moxley, that brawl was terrible. The promos were fire. But that brawl was absolute. They put The Rock versus Stone Cold, My Way or the Highway behind it. I said, this looks, you don't ever compare. Please don't.
Never.
And everybody like, it's not to compare. I'm like, bro, that's the first thing I think about when you put a black and white promo with them punches. I'm automatically gonna go to it. I don't know how you gonna tell me not to go to it. That's what they did. So yeah. So I don't know how I'm gonna go to it. It looked terrible. But I got one more thing I want to talk to. Then we're gonna give it to Friday night. Yeah, y'all can go check out them boys. We're gonna get out of here. I think they're about to start. NXT Worlds Collide. On the same day of All Out. Triple H Revenge Tour is here, dog.
Yeah.
The same day as All Out.
He's coming for it.
And Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate is if y'all ain't never seen Tyler Bate, oh my God.
He was once part of a team called Mustache Mountain that wasn't the greatest, but was decent. He's a way better singles guy. I'll give him that.
Yeah,
but Braun's got to break him still.
That tag team wasn't good. But him as a singles, y'all if y'all ain't seen him in NXT UK and anything, y'all finna see a show. This boy, can he go? Holy.
It'll also be a good little litmus test for fucking Braun Breaker too.
Because Braun gotta go too. He can't Tyler Bate can go.
Yeah, and that nigga's got a gas tank on him.
Is that what I'm saying?
Like, bruh.
I know it was supposed to be Dragunov.
Him and Pete Dunne, go back and watch any fucking Tyler Bate Pete Dunne match. Amazing.
By the way, Dragunov, Ilya, he was supposed to, but he got hurt. But I'm like, the physicality between Ilya and Braun would have been top level physicality. Ilya
versus Walter 1 and 2 were both match of the year contenders. Like, I want to see that again on the main roster. How sick would it be if the person that finally came and got the Intercontinental title off of Gunther was freaking Ilya?
But get healthy, Dragunov, because I know it was supposed to be you, and you lost. You got hurt, and then Tyler Bate won the belt. If y'all don't know, Tyler Bate's the first NXT UK champion. Walter beat him, took it off of him in a great match, by the way.
No, Pete Dunne was the first one, wasn't he? Because Walter did the crazy chop shit when he took it off of him. They were supposed to be the hardest chops ever heard.
Hold on, did Pete Dunne beat? Hold up. NXT.
I think Pete Dunne beat Tyler Bates, and then Pete Dunne held it for like 300 and something days, and then Walter took it off him and held it for like 500 and something days.
I'm finna go look at it now.
Okay.
Bailey, Io Shirai, and them just showed up. Let me see.
Have they got a name officially yet?
Tyler Bate beat Pete Dunne in the first one in 2017.
Oh, okay.
Then
Pete got it.
Tyler Bate then went on to beat Trent Seven, and then Pete Dunne beat Tyler Bate. He finally beat Tyler Bate after 125 days. Then Pete Dunne became the reigning 685 days. Then Walter, then Ilya. The Ilya had to recently, like literally like 2 weeks ago, if you watch NXT UK, had to give up the belt after suffering an injury. And then Tyler Bate got it back.
Hell, Trent Seven was the one that Tyler Bates was in the Mustache Mountain tag team with.
Well, that's where that rivalry came from, the second rivalry. It was a pretty good one, too, if you watch NXT UK before. I know a lot of wrestlers.
They just weren't that great of a tag team, in my opinion.
That match was really good, by the way.
I think they're both really good wrestlers.
Bro, dude, that's what I be saying. People are like, are you a casual? I'm like, I'm a hardcore casual, because Tori don't even watch NXT UK. And I be watching it. He don't watch NXT. I watch NXT. He don't. I told you watch Impact.
I don't.
I watch him.
I record it all though. Whether or not I watch it is another thing.
That's why I be like, I'm like, y'all would think Tori is more hardcore than me. I'm not watching NXT. I'm not watching I'm an AEW Dark.
I'm hardcore when it comes to the big angles.
Yeah. Like he said, he probably record all of it and then if I tell him a match was really good, he'll watch it. But
yeah. I mean, as far as like New Japan and shit, I probably watch a little more New Japan, but still enough. Like
I can't.
We
I
were
can't
talking about. I'm so sad. I'm so sad that Okada won again, even though Zelme pointed out that it was his year once again.
Kota Ibushi's leaving though, and I'm like, oh
yeah, bruh. If Kota Ibushi, what do they do if Kota Ibushi leaves? Does he go to AEW and reform the Golden Levers with Kenny Omega?
They said he might just take care of his grandma and open up a shop in a wrestling school.
Oh, well, that would be fire.
I think they said Mama said his grandma or something.
Because in my opinion, one of the most underrated matches of all time is Kota Ibushi versus goddamn.
He's 40.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 37.
But Kota Ibushi versus damn, I can't remember homeboy's name. Brian something, but they wrestled at Brian Kendrick. Kota Ibushi versus Brian Kendrick at the Cruiserweight Classic, bro. That is one of the most underrated wrestling matches in general ever. Him and Kendrick went stupid in that match.
Yo, if y'all got Peak, I don't know if it's on Peak. I know it's on WWE. If Cruiserweight Classic had some bangers on, Zack Sabre Jr. was on there.
But nothing, bro. I swear, nothing compares to that Kota Ibushi Brian Kendrick match. That shit was
Brian Kendrick
wild.
had that little black jacket and he had the attitude, right?
Yeah,
that was a fun match. That tournament had so many talented people. Oh my God, Zack Sabre Jr. was on there. I was like, when did Zack Sabre Jr. be on WWE? Did I remember?
Pac, well, he was Neville then, but Pac was on that. Fucking the fact that Kota Ibushi was on there on WWE, like, bruh.
Yeah, Toxic Attraction is on WWE right now for the people that want to know. So they backed up. They got Zoe Starks got injured in her match with Mandy Rose, which they was always gonna do. I don't know why they tried to throw us off. We knew if anybody from NXT gonna come up as Toxic Attraction, you can't just put two random teams up. And by the way, Toxic Attraction should probably go to the finals and lose to Bayley and them. Cause I'm sorry, Raquel.
They should win right off the gate.
Raquel and Aaliyah is not.
I think that's a weird tag team.
And then this Sonya and Natalia. I like Natty, but that team ain't got no heat. Toxic Attraction, I don't
care for. I've never cared for Natty. She's always been a decent in-ring worker, but her personality is just bland to me. They did a whole storyline about her farting. Like, bruh.
Vince is a strange man, by the way.
Fact.
Vince might have thought it was. What if she passed gas around Vince and he like, that's your gimmick? I'd be like, I hate you.
That'd be horrible.
Like, she didn't even know nobody was around and Vince just walked out and the that's your gimmick.
That's your gimmick.
It sounds like such a Vince thing to do. But yeah, NXT UK Worlds Collide. Tyler Bate versus Braun Breaker gonna go crazy. I don't know if it's gonna be Diamond Mine versus the former champs, so they kind of attacked them, or it's gonna be Jensen now. Jensen, the current champs. They went over to UK because they wouldn't be used over here. And this is the final NXT UK event, and they released a lot of people. I guess everybody coming over to NXT that didn't get released.
Yeah. But I think that's smart. I really do. I think combining NXT UK and NXT, I think that's been long overdue. Plus, it'll give them a bunch of little heater matches.
He's making
he's
making NXT Universe. Do
you think that they're going to do? Do they do a fucking
Did you see the picture he put
out?
You see the picture?
Do they bring the belts together?
I doubt it, because I think he want that to be the NXT Europe title when it go over.
Oh, okay.
So for y'all that don't know, if y'all ain't heard, NXT Europe is supposed to be coming late next year or mid next year. And what he want to do is make NXT Japan, NXT South America, NXT Mexico.
Which is kind of, I don't know, because you got to think, how long ago was it that it wasn't too long ago that they shut down the whole Japanese branch of WWE.
Vince would, guess who in charge now, Tor? Yo, Vince,
I know.
Vince on all Triple H. I did like, we ain't doing that shit. I don't know what they saying.
He can't speak English.
Vince, they are gonna be in Japan, Vince. It don't matter if they speak.
And that's the thing. I never got it, because I'm pretty sure. I mean, Andre the Giant didn't have the best English in the world.
Omos, bro. Shout out to Omos, bro. But Omos,
bro, get that nigga out of here.
NXT Japan is literally gonna be in Japan. It It don't matter if they don't speak.
But it's hard. That's a hard market to break into because think about it. New Japan, Noah, Stardom. There are plenty of actual really good. I
remember the story about Triple H was trying to convince Vince to buy New Japan. He was like, they don't speak English. I ain't doing that shit.
Which would have been, man, that would have been a real monopoly then.
He would have took all that. He tried to get Vince to do it. Vince like, I don't know. Vince, Vince don't like them. But he want to make the NXT everywhere for. And then his thing was they can even be like they can go to New Japan later. It'd be like because when they get them young and they do it.
One thing
or they can go to Stardom too. That's what he was saying. Because that's why he said
there's a renewed hope for interpromotional battles with Triple H in charge. If he hasn't just decided to murder Tony Khan.
I know he sent Kairi Sane over to Japan to be doing like relations and stuff before she retired. So, so I'm thinking what he trying to do is like, hey, we'll just like build a 17, 18-year-old, 20-year-old that y'all be doing so y'all ain't got to worry about that because y'all running out of space on y'all shows and they don't be getting on TV no more. But Stardom and y'all, because Stardom don't really get the young people no more. Even though they do got that 17-year-old girl that go hard. I can't think of her name. Yeah, like she do all them little funny gimmicks that she just be squaring people with water and then she gets serious and she can really wrestle. But she'll squirt water on you and stuff, weird stuff like that. But she can wrestle though if you like into wrestling. Somehow I'm watching Stardom too. It's like saving them. So I'm subscribed to Stardom and New Japan on YouTube. Hey. I'm a hardcore casual. I sit here and just complain about them like New Japan don't do nothing new, and I just sit here and just like, hey, are they gonna do something new this week? Technically, just be on the background like Raw do, or used to be, but
yeah, background noise.
And then I hear noise get like I just did with Smack. Whenever I hear a loud pop, I just on this other monitor right here, just like, oh, something happened while I'm doing work or editing videos. That's basically what I do while I edit. But Worlds Collide Tour, do you think it gonna dent AEW all out, or is Tony Khan bringing all the big dogs back and it ain't?
I think it could definitely do similar numbers. I don't know whether it blows it out of the water or not.
Ain't about like all out because people don't know.
I was gonna say All Out seems to be pretty firmly entrenched as one of their actually good pay-per-views. So maybe it'll be MJF's comeback. That's the only thing I think could save it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people been saying that AEW been amazing the last few weeks, and I
agree to disagree.
I did like this last episode. That's because I like Kenny and I was excited.
Yeah.
By the way, CM Punk causing all this havoc, even if it's a shoot, made that show a lot more interesting. Because I was so confused on why he randomly called out Eddie Kingston. And why he called out Hangman randomly when they wasn't going to like come out here and have that match right now.
I mean, Eddie wasn't there either though.
Hangman was there, but he didn't know he was supposed to come out.
See, Eddie wasn't even there.
I'm like, and Hangman was there, so that makes it even weirder to me to not lead into a work because he made Hangman look bad. Like, come on, get your rematch right now. I'll wait, and he sat down, and I'm like.
Yeah, they didn't hit the music or nothing.
Then he called him a coward, and then didn't say nothing else about him. I'm like, that was unnecessary.
But if this could be the start of the Punk heel run that everyone's been wanting so bad.
That's unfair to Hangman though. He looked like for not coming out and getting his time.
Bro, Hanger was a mid champion. And that just is what it is.
But you don't want a company dude to be just look bad for no reason. That was uncalled for. Let's be honest.
Bro, that was classic CM Punk.
An asshole. All right, we got Tori. You got anything you want to say to the wrestling fans before we got and let go to Friday Night Gear because I don't want to know.
Afro Kami 765 on everything. I'm probably somewhere saying something you don't want to hear, but will make you better in the long run.
Yeah, all the links is the link tree below. I just came back from a wait. I'm sorry I'm a little late. I apologize to the Year Boys. Go over there, show them some love. They are live right now on this same channel. I think they are live. I don't know yet. I ain't got the email. I can't look it up. But whenever they come on, check them boys out. They talking about Triple H, AEW, all that stuff. They talking about the same thing we talk. And you get a whole different perspective. We out.
Yep.
Peace. I'm about to watch Smackdown. Love y'all.